what I've noticed is that studying and learning boxing extensively, you see like how so many things could be fixed, but it's no governing body over the governing body. So for example, it's very like all the governing bodies, the main ones, WBC, WBO, IBF, WBA, they all have different rules and they're not cohesive to the point where, well, this year the WBC, WBA, and IBF had a meeting, two meetings actually, where basically they're trying to make the best fight the best and also get unified and undisputed champions back and basically overriding the politics. So you've seen that in action when the WBO ordered Peter Quillen, who was a Showtime Al Heyman fighter, to take on Matvey Korobov, a HBO top-ranked fighter. Peter Quillen drops his belt. Danny Garcia, a Showtime Al Heyman fighter, WBC champion, was ordered to fight Victor Postol, a top-ranked HBO fighter. Danny Garcia, Al Heyman, thank you so much, paid Victor Postol off. What else? Another situation. Oh, Amir Khan is the 147-pound champion, Showtime Al Heyman fighter. But when you look at earlier this year, before Manny Pacquiao fought Timothy Bradley, if Pacquiao wouldn't have fought Timothy Bradley, Mayweather would have had to fight Pacquiao or drop his most coveted 147-pound title. People forget that. The WBC had made Manny Pacquiao the #1 contender. I believe that was back in like January or something like that of this year. And once Pacquiao fought against Timothy Bradley, he was no longer ranked. But here's something else going on that really hasn't really gone on before, where you have Gennady Gennadievich Golovkin, who's going to be taking on Martin Murray in February. And the reason why he's fighting that fight is because he's the interim WBC 160-pound champion. Remember, Miguel Cotto is the 160-pound champion, but Golovkin is the interim, and he's fighting Martin Murray to be the silver. So basically, he's eliminating all paths to the 160-pound WBC title, to whereas in Miguel Cotto is going to have to either fight him or vacate his belt. The IBF, and I'm getting to a point, the IBF ordered Carl Froch to fight George Groves in a rematch when George Groves was stopped by Carl Froch in November of 2013. Somewhat of an early stoppage, but no matter what, knowing Carl Froch, George Groves was going to get stopped. And what happened? Carl Froch solidifies the first stoppage by knocking him out and putting him to sleep. So it brings me to the fighter that we're going to talk about in this video, Anthony Chalk Mundine. Chalk, yes, people keep trying to correct me. See, I had a tooth pulled and I be lisping. But long story short, 47 and 6 with 27 KOs, the current 154-pound silver WBC champion. Now I apologize, Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson is not the Ben Thompson from Fight Hype, but the promoter of Anthony Mundine. I got to my Twitter late. But if you didn't know, Anthony Mundine's team had sent out an offer to Cornelius Kenan Bundrich, the 154-pound IBF champion. He's 40 years old, for $500,000 for the fight to take place in Vegas. Right now, it looks like Bundrich is going to have to fight Jamel Charlo. I believe it's Jamel Charlo, in a less winnable fight for him. Whereas if he would have fought Anthony Mundine 50-50, and there was so much at line with that IBF and that WBC silver middleweight, junior middleweight title. So when you look at what the WBC did, they ordered a rematch. The rematch has to happen sometime in the next 3 months. So I'm saying in March, we're going to see Mundine versus Rabchenko 2, of course, in Australia. That's where the money is. And then the winner of that, will definitely get Floyd Mayweather. But what I've read, the logic behind this is that, okay, all right, well, a fight with Floyd Mayweather Mundine will not happen. So they're saying, well, the most logical person to put him up against is Sergey Rabchenko. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Danny Garcia defeated Mauricio Herrera. Mauricio Herrera didn't get a rematch, an immediate or automatic mandatory rematch. Whereas at best, this fight would have been a draw, not a win for Rabchenko, because there was a knockdown that a referee didn't count, but still, that would have made the fight a draw at best. Split draw, some shit, majority, some shit like that. It would he wouldn't have won the fight. But here is where the beef comes in: is that two of the judges are from Australia. The two judges that I forgot where the third judge were from. Grudenberg, I think that's German or something. I forgot where he was coming from. But The two other judges were from Melbourne, Australia. So Ricky Hatton, trainer of Sergey Rabchenko, went to the WBC and basically said, listen, you know, our fighter won that fight. And even if they feel they fighter lost the fight, they're still going to say that fighter won the fight. And we should get a rematch. And here we are. So I look at it like this. Anthony Mundine is in the big leagues now because, see, his name carries more weight and he is Australian boxing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. He really is Australian boxing. So when it comes to Sergey Rabchenko, he's not going to do anything for the belt. Mundine showed that he can beat him. He just got to sharpen up, you know, on just a few things and go out there and take this fight seriously as if he's fighting to defend the actual world title, because there's so many big fights that once he gets Sergey Rabchenko out of here, there's so many big fights for him that he's always wanted, to the point where it's crazy because in this new social media age and everything, I didn't get to start watching the Anthony Mundine fights till about 2007. I think I said that already. But from my understanding, he always wanted to be able, you know, an international superstar. Now, will he exactly be an international superstar? No, but he has a better chance of getting his name known in the States than ever before, and not just being a fighter on Fight Night champion, you know, and people think he's just a created player or some shit. No, Anthony Mundine is a real fighter. I know I'm ranting and raving because I'm trying to move fast because I gotta go pick up my burger. And honestly, I'm tired. And I'm trying to watch this fight at the same time. This is why I try to turn the TV off, like when I'm doing my videos, because I'll be zoning out trying to talk and watch fights at the same time. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live.